the golden retriever and the statue. In a quiet little home, a family started to notice something strange about their golden retriever. Every day, without fail, the dog would sit by the table and stare long and silently at a small, stone statue of a sleeping cat. On the base of the statue were these words: "You have left our lives, but will never leave our hearts." The dog's eyes seemed heavy with sorrow, as if he remembered something. The owner couldn't shake the feeling that the dog knew a secret about the statue. Finally, curiosity and unease pushed the owner to act. He took a hammer and a chisel and began to carefully break open the statue. The sound of cracking stone filled the room, each strike echoing louder than the last until, inside, he uncovered something completely unexpected. There, sealed within, was a small collar and a delicate little bell, the belongings of the family's old cat, who had passed away the year before. The statue had been made as a memorial, and the keepsakes had been hidden inside. The truth hit the owner like a wave. The loyal dog had never forgotten his feline friend. Every day, he had sat by that statue because he knew his companion was still there in some way. Tears filled the owner's eyes. In that moment, he realized that love, whether human or animal, never truly dies. Friendship leaves footprints on the heart that nothing can erase. After his discovery, the owner looked at the golden retriever, who was now wagging his tail slowly, his eyes no longer heavy with sorrow, but filled with a quiet contentment. He understood. The statue, once a cold memorial, was now a bridge to the past. The owner knelt down and gently placed the collar and bell on a velvet, cushioned by the dog's favorite chair. From that day on, the golden retriever would often curl up beside it, no longer staring with sorrow, but resting with peace. The family learned to grieve not with an empty space, but with a heart full of cherished memories, all thanks to a loyal dog who had shown them that love is a quiet, constant presence that can never truly be broken. The dog didn't understand the hammer or the cracking stone, but he felt his owner's resolve. All he knew was the familiar ache in his chest, the one that made him stare at the little stone cat every day. He hadn't known why the cat's scent was so faint, why she never came down to play, but he knew her spirit was close. The moment the statue broke open, a rush of old, familiar smells filled the air: the warmth of her fur, the faint jingle of her bell, the scent of the sun on her favorite rug. He watched as his human's face crumbled with tears, and in that shared moment of grief and understanding, the dog felt a weight lift from his shoulders. He finally understood. She was gone, but her love was still there, now freed from its stone prison and filling the home once more. The owner stood stunned, the small familiar items in his hand. He looked at the dog, who was now nudging his hand with a soft whimper. The cracking of the stone had not been an act of destruction, but of revelation. However, his wife, hearing the noise, rushed into the room and saw the broken statue. "What have you done?" she cried, her voice trembling. The statue had been a symbol of her own private grief, a physical representation of the cat she missed so dearly. The owner tried to explain, to show her what he found, but she was too upset. It took hours of talking, of tears, and finally, of holding the tiny bell in her own hand, for her to understand. The dog, watching from a distance, had not only mended his own heart, but had given them a new, shared way to remember, no longer with a cold, silent statue, but with the warm, tangible relics of a love that was truly alive.